The vastness of the Permian Basin is unparalleled in the United States. More oil and gas is pulled from this barren, dusty landscape than anywhere else in the country. Production is at record highs and expected to increase as new projects come online, potentially with catastrophic effects.
The big danger with climate change is runaway climate change, where one thing leads to the next and the permafrost thaws, and then the Amazon rainforest dies, and then it doesn't stop until we are in a hothouse Earth.
The climate dominoes are already stacked and shaking, says scientist Kiel Kuhn. He's part of a group of researchers who have identified 195 oil and gas carbon bombs globally. These are planned or existing projects that would each release at least 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide in their lifetime. With 22 carbon bombs, the U.S. is the leading source of potential emissions, and the Permian Basin is ground zero. Calls to some of the basin's largest producers, like Chevron and Oxy, either went unanswered or were answered with a simple no comment. Scientist Gunnar Schade says it's time to get rid of these projects, not to start new ones.
Fossil fuels will have to be phased out. There's no doubt about that, unless we want to drive this car against the wall. And we're still going at high speed towards that wall at this point in time.
Saudi Arabia, Russia, and Qatar also make the list. And when coal mine projects are included, the number of carbon bombs soars to 425 globally, with China taking the top spot. Together, the projects would easily shatter efforts to keep global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius.
But the global warming potential is actually slightly underestimated because the study excludes methane leakage from oil and gas projects. And part of what makes the greenhouse gas so difficult to track is that it's invisible, impossible to see with the human eye, and completely odorless.
That's where methane hunters like Sharon Wilson come in.
Look at that.
She uses special technology to make the invisible visible.
When you look here, you can see there's tons of emissions happening.
Yeah, it's frightening.
Frightening because methane has 80 times the warming power of carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. And according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, natural gas and petroleum systems are main sources of methane emissions.
You have seen the head of a pin, of what's out here. And they just keep expanding. They have to release it. Those tanks will explode if they don't have a way to release the methane.
For now, these carbon bomb projects show little signs of folding as governments scramble to secure energy supplies in a tight market, leaving oil and gas producers with more than enough incentive to keep the rigs drilling for years to come. Toni Waterman, CGTN, the Permian Basin, Texas.